My name is Jessica.
And I'm Matt. Here at Channel 999, we bring you previously taped, several-day-old, and partially accurate news. Let's begin with tonight's top stories.
A veterinary student was hospitalized this morning after mass consumption of Red Hots and potato chips. The student was rushed to the hospital in critical condition after her 10 a.m. class. Doctors say that the patient will remain hospitalized for the next several days.
Officials say this appears to be no accident and foul play may be involved. An investigation is ongoing. In other news, a man was arrested on Saturday in LaGuardia Airport for smuggling a sedated baby rhesus monkey in his pants on his flight back from Mumbai. The primate wasn't noticed by flight attendants until a customer complained that his complimentary peanuts had disappeared. Upon landing, the monkey and all passengers that had possibly been exposed to it are being tested for Herpes B, a virus carried by macaque species that is deadly in people.
The TSA wants to remind people that in addition to liquids and chainsaws, monkeys in your pants are also not permitted on domestic and international flights. At a press conference held Sunday morning, a TSA spokeswoman made the statement, "No animal is permitted in your pants on any airline or any airplane. And in general, animals in your pants is looked down upon even in situations outside of the airport." The TSA hopes that their new imaging technology will help crack down on people trying to smuggle things in their pants onto flights in the future.
A Minnesota woman called police yesterday afternoon after filming a raccoon drinking from her beer bottle. Police showed up too late to catch the raccoon, but confiscated the remaining beer. They also warned residents of the neighborhood to alert them again if any wild animal was seen doing any abnormal behaviors. Abnormal behavior is one of the first signs in a rabies infection.
Other abnormal behaviors to look out for are a raccoon drinking other alcoholic beverages such as mojitos or wine spritzers. A raccoon using your computer to check its email. A raccoon attempting to give you a high five. A raccoon trying to hump your dog. And a raccoon attempting to give you a high five after humping your dog. If you notice any of these, please contact Animal Control or the police in your area immediately.
And now, Jessica, I know you've been waiting for this all night.
I have, Matt. I really have. I'm very
Our
excited.
special report of the evening.
Tonight's special report is the crap you should care about.
Crap, Jessica?
Yes, Matt, crap. Literally crap. Let's now go to our senior crap correspondent, Ashley Rush, for the rest of the story. Ashley?
Thank you, Jessica. Yes, you heard correctly, crap. And crap has been increasingly on the mind of one central Iowa woman whose daughter was tragically blinded by a parasite that some veterinarians say is commonly found in pet species.
Susie Hayes is a typical 7-year-old girl who loves to play with stuffed animals and dreams of becoming a veterinarian. She spends many of her afternoons playing at the playground near her Ames home with her best friend, a Yorkshire Terrier named Bumblebee. Little did Susie and her family know that their beloved pet was carrying a roundworm called Toxocara canis. The family's veterinarian told the girl's mother that Susie likely contracted this disease either from coming into contact with their dog's stool or the stool of other pets at the playground. The worm's larva is then able to travel to the eye through the nerves, causing permanent blindness. Due to little Susie's blindness, she is unable to play at the playground anymore. If more prevention is not done in our pets, more children could contract and be blinded by this devastating parasite.
I'm here at the home of the Hayes family, and I'm stopping by to ask them a few questions about young Susie's loss of vision. Ms. Hayes, hello.
What's going on?
I'm Ashley Rush with Channel 99 News. I was hoping to ask you a few questions today.
What do I get out of it? Do I get paid?
No. I'm here with Elvira Hayes, the mother of the blinded child. Miss Hayes, when did you notice that something was wrong with your daughter?
A couple months ago, I noticed her eye was cocked off to the side. I thought maybe because I beat her all the time. But it just kept getting worse, and then she started bumping into things.
So, Mrs. Hayes, what did you do next?
Well, the school nurse told me I had to bring her to the doctor. The doctor said she had worms in her eye, and that I needed to bring my dog to the vet.
A vet? That's interesting.
And the vet said the dog had worms. I don't know if that's related to my daughter, but...
What did the vet have to say about the worms?
The vet Said my dog had to go on this medicine and it cost me $20 damn.
Ms. Hayes, that's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for your time.
You get off the damn couch!
That's all for me out in the field. I'm Ashley Rush with Channel 99 News. Back to you in the studio, Jess and Matt.
Thank you, Ashley. I'm definitely going to have to think twice before I bury myself naked in my sandbox again. Hypothetically, of course. Anyway, we now have some experts joining us from remote locations to help answer some questions that I'm sure we all have. Our first guest is Dr. Amanda Klubine, joining us from Cedar Falls, Iowa. She is a veterinary expert in fecal matter and your pets. Good evening, Dr. Klubine, and thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks for having me. Hopefully I can clarify a few points for you guys.
Our second guest is Dr. McLovin, a physician from Hollywood, California, a self-proclaimed expert in internal medicine and looking good. Thank you for joining us tonight, Dr. McLovin.
Yeah, hi. Great to be here. Fantastic. Yeah, this is going to take long, isn't it? I got to get to the gym. Whew, look at her. She is hot. Anybody else see that? Anybody?
Boy, he's dreamy. Our first question tonight is for Dr. Klubine. Dr. Klubine, is this a common parasite in dogs? I mean, I've never really heard of it. How do they get it?
Well, this is a common parasite in both cats and dogs, actually. The species that we usually see in dogs, Toxocara canis, and in cats we would see Toxocara cati. But for simplicity's sake, we'll just refer to them as roundworms. These infections are most commonly seen in dogs, just from the simple fact that they're able to go outside more often than cats. But do keep in mind, if you allow your cat to roam around outside on a regular basis, or even infrequently, you increase your chance of contracting this in your cat as well. In dogs, this infection is more commonly seen in young puppies, less than 6 months, who acquire their infection through the mother's milk. An outside source of infection, though, for those older dogs and cats, are ingestion of rodents. So as I was saying, if you let your cat roam around outside more frequently than outside, you do run a greater risk of your cats contracting this infection. And once ingested, the parasites are passing along the parasite in the mother's milk. The eggs are passed along in the feces, and this assists in further transmission to other cats and dogs, and in rare cases can lead to human infection.
I too have never heard of this disease. How is Toxocara passed to humans?
Well, the major source of infection in humans is lack of proper hygiene, like properly washing your hands after handling puppies, especially if you're dealing or handling with any vomit or feces, or handling animal feces that could potentially be infected. Children are at greater risk for contracting of this infection. Sandboxes, playgrounds, those are huge breeding grounds for such a parasite. And in this case, this is a prime example. Children are innocent to such potential diseases, and they are more happy to put anything in their mouths. It really doesn't matter what it is. These ingested eggs hatch into larvae in the intestines and attempt to migrate as they would through a cat or a dog who contracted the infection. But the difference is, we as humans are what we call accidental hosts, meaning we're not meant to be infected by these parasites. In their attempt to migrate through our bodies, these larvae will find their way through our liver, lungs, eyes, brain, etc., and cause disease. And the term we apply to this condition is larval migrans. The case we're seeing here is an example of ocular larval migrans, where these larvae actually migrate to the eye and cause disease.
We'll now see what the public knows about Toxocara in a segment we like to call Take It to the Streets.